Hello and welcome to the She Can Achieve podcast. I'm Regina Sloan. I help women who lead in their homes, careers, and communities, but they feel overwhelmed and stuck. So get unstuck and start living a life aligned with the impact that you're here to make. This is your space for that. Let's get into it. Y'all, I am really excited. I did not realize that my mic for podcasting still worked. Okay, it was kind of lazy, but I had this mic that I've had since I started my podcast, which is so crazy. This is year 4. Wow. I didn't even realize that until this moment. And anyway, I bought a mic and it's been here, but I thought that it was broken. I was like, oh, I gotta get another cord for that. And so I found a cord, hooked it up, waited a few more months, and I was like, let me pull that out and see. And oh my goodness, it works. I apologize for all the times that the sound wasn't as crisp as it is now. All right. Today, we are talking about actually a conversation that I had with a past client. And I shared it. Me and her had this conversation, obviously, and then I did a video. I'm not sure if I'm going to post or not because it's really lengthy. But then I thought about, I could just put it right here on the podcast because I want it to land here and I want it to be somewhere where you can come back to because it is truly foundational to living a life you love and being connected in the work that you do and loving on every part of you, the good, bad, and ugly. And so one thing about me is the way that I coach, the spaces I create, the container, like you walk into a room. This is not like your everyday life. When we're in our conversation for the week, it's us. It's not you and me and the world. It's like us. It's a different experience. And so because of that, there is so much safety for vulnerability and being yourself and just saying the thing, feeling no judgment, feeling held, feeling lifted, even celebrated and understood, I feel like are the terms that my clients often use in our work. And so because of that, I get to really know my clients and we can't do anything but be friends, right? Like you just can't be in that experience with someone and not feel connected afterwards. Okay. So because of that, this is a past client, but I have done better and better about leaning into when my spirit tells me, hey, reach out, say that thing, do that thing. Even when it feels cringy and weird, I'm like, I'm so proud of myself for doing it. I'm so glad I did. So anyway, I've learned that about myself, and I had a thought of a client, and it's so funny. I wanted to give her a different name, so I can say, like, I want to say her name, but I also want to keep this private because I did not get okay from her to have this conversation, but I just feel like it's more connected if I say her name. However, I don't want to do that and then say her and actually say her real name. So we're just gonna forget that. But anyway, I was thinking about her. I reached out and I was like, hey, I'm just here to remind you of your empower, of who you are as a community leader in our space in the world, curating events that only you can, and just reminding her of her gifts. And I remember saying, in case you forgot, in case you needed to hear it, I don't know what's been going on with you, because we hadn't really talked personally, but I was called to reach out. And so tell me the good, bad, the ugly, let me know what's going on, and I hope everything is going well. And at the same time, if you need this reminder, listen, you are doing the work you need to be doing, in so many words. And so she sent me a voice memo back that really helped me it really caused me to pause and really think about the work that I do and how much of a blessing it is to be a part of this, because I know how much it took me to get here, right? And I know how almost I didn't move forward. You might be in one of those moments now where you are like, I really want to be doing this thing, but I'm also not putting that foot out there. And I might not put that foot out there. And what is that life like? And so I think all of us have those experiences, and some of us decide we're strong enough to push that aside. I'm like, well, forget it. I'm here and I'm going to just stay here and figure this out. And then others of us are like, that discomfort is so bad that I got to move forward, even if that discomfort also is bad. And that's kind of where I was. This wasn't an easy thing to do, to jump into the service that I do and to be visible and show up and share more of me and my story and put myself out there as I grow to be scrutinized, and like all the things that my brain takes me to is like, this is absolutely going to happen. I laugh because one of my coaches was like, oh, Regina, it's so cute that you think people aren't already judging you. Right? Like, so just know that this wasn't an easy thing for me to jump into, especially because I had a career that I didn't hate. I mean, I actually enjoyed it most of the time, and I knew what I liked within it, and I was good at it. So if I wanted to be a big boss, I could. Like, that's literally what I wanted to do when I first started my nursing career. I remember being in like a round table, and I was a student nurse, and we were at the hospital, the VA to be exact, and we were talking to the head nurse of the entire hospital, and she's like going around like, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? And like got to me, and I'm like, I want to sit where you are. And she's like, what? Who is this lady? And who is this girl? Right? I'm sure. And I remember getting this look from my clinical instructor like, you rude. Mm-mm-mm. And I felt so much shame and like embarrassment in the moment. But that was true though. She's like, I think it was my clinical instructor. She was like, well, we're not talking about later. Like, what do you want to do after you get out of nursing school? And I'm thinking, hell, I said it. Right. But I knew, because we pick up on messages, right? And we've been conformed in a lot of different ways. I knew that my answer needed to be shrunken down. And like, oh, well, I've been told I need to do, what was it? Med surge. So that's probably where I start, and kind of laughed it off. And I spent my life doing that. Right. And so I said all that to say that this has not been easy, and in a lot of different ways, I wanted to shrink and hide, and the feeling, the vibe, the calling got so strong that it became more uncomfortable. And I really loved my nursing career too. Like, in a lot of ways, I could have had it the way I wanted it to. Like, so it wasn't like, oh my God, I gotta get nursing, I'm so burnt out. Like, I love y'all, love my nurse buddies, but y'all all need to hire me, because that is not the vibe, period. Right? 13 years of nursing, I've never felt burnt out, because of the foundational work that I learned myself and now teach my clients. And so I said all that to say that this was not an easy peasy thing, but it's been so beautiful to witness now, having done it long enough and really stepping into my skills and like really creating results for my clients and with them, I should say. That's a better way to say it, because that's actually what's happening, that I couldn't go back if I wanted to. I couldn't not experience this in some kind of capacity if I wanted to. And 7 minutes in, I haven't gotten to the point. So I just wanted to share that with y'all, because I know I have a lot of listeners too that you feel that calling to. And I just want you to know it's not supposed to be easy. And sometimes I'm second guessing myself as well. But because of that, and because I'm so connected with my clients, I reach out, I tell her what I know she needs to hear. She reaches back and I'm like, oh my gosh, she read my mind. Send me a voicemail like, you're either in my house, you're in my head, because every time I'm in this space, you send me a message or you post something on Facebook that I'm like, she's talking to me. And so from that conversation, she shared with me what she was going through in the moment, what she was experiencing, and how like the stuckness that she felt, where that was coming from. Like what you said is exactly what I needed to hear, Regina. But I think that her response to me, this is why I love this work, helped me to see how important it is for you to understand one of the foundational tools and reasons I think coaching is worth it for every person. There are very, very few things that I'm like, that will work for every single person in the world. Coaching is one of them. I don't even know if there's something, a modality or something that you can invest in and buy that I can say everyone. No, everyone needs to experience this, and I want to explain why. Our life experience is directly connected to our ability to understand how it's created. I'll say that again. Your life experience is directly connected to your ability to understand how it's created. Understanding how your experience is created, the how of it, how is it shaped and formed, is the recipe to creating it on purpose. If you don't know how something is created, if you don't know how something works, how the heck can you go and do it yourself? How can you go and replicate it? You can't. Someone say, oh, go make that sourdough bread that I'm seeing all over TikTok, right? I couldn't. I could not, because I just haven't taken the time to understand the process, what needs to go in it, none of that. Right? Someone tells you, hey, go ride that bike, but you've never done it. Someone tells you, log on to that bank account and do your expenses, but you've never done it. Here, like so many different things, right, that I can give an examples of, is that you had to be shown, you had to learn to do the thing in order to create it. So coaching helps you understand that. If nothing else, coaching helps you. True coaching helps you to understand how you are in control of all of your experiences. You don't have to change any of them, but just knowing that you're in control of them actually creates a better experience by itself. Just knowing. So I always start with my clients is the awareness. If you get nothing else from me, which we absolutely work on results, but if you got nothing but awareness from me of understanding how your life experience is created, I have done my job. Because there is something different about going through life on purpose versus being victim to it. And coaching helps you get out of victimhood. It helps you take radical responsibility, because the only way I can be in control of my experience and how I feel it and vibe it is if I'm in control of it, if I believe I'm in control of it. But if it's Susie over here, or my partner, or my kids, or my job, or the economy, or white people, or black people, or this or that, or politics, like whatever, if it's them, now all of a sudden they have the power over me. And in coaching, you learn that you can decide to take that back. So there's something called the model that I was trained in. I did tool certification through Brooke Castillo. Her last name is now Hicks, but she ran the life coach school for several years. And in my opinion, has been the foundation to this pivotal success for coaches in coaching careers, because we've gotten better at coaching. Like she always says, like money is created through value. And that's exactly what she did with the life coach school, and taught thousands of coaches the art of coaching. And one of the tools she uses is the model. And there's a lot of nuances, but I want to give you the very basics here, because really, again, I've already said what you really need to believe, but this will help you believe that. This tool helps you believe this, but I am in control of my experience. That's all you need to believe. So if you can believe that, now you're done, you feel good about it, and you don't even need to continue listening. But I want to share with you the model, because some of us, most of us, maybe all of us, need proof in some ways. We think we need proof in some ways. And so what Brooke did was gathered years and years of psychology and different things from different people that were saying amazing things, and she condensed it down into something that we can just talk about in this 20-minute podcast, right? How amazing. And this model, this is how you define it. So it's CTFAR. You put on the left side CTFAR, right? Don't overthink that. But essentially, this model that we use help you to see that there are neutral things in the world that happens. How much money you have right now in your bank, what time or day it is, the weather, what your brother said to you yesterday, what your kid actually did, like the factual things in the world. Those are circumstances. Okay, we can't control those. However, we can control what we think about, which is the second thing. We have thoughts. We have beliefs about these circumstances. Those beliefs can either be positive or negative. You talk about the president, right? There's going to be positive thoughts about about the president, negative thoughts, right? And you have that across the board with pretty much everything, okay? But notice that those thoughts are chosen beliefs. Those are not facts. And we know they're not facts because they can't be proved in a court of law, and everyone doesn't agree. Everyone agrees that you're listening to a podcast, that I'm Regina Sloan talking, right? There's no argument with things that are facts. Okay. Your thoughts are not. They are chosen beliefs. Everyone has one, but it's important to know that you choose what you want to believe about something, and believing something positive creates a positive emotion. Believing something negative creates a negative emotion. So we go to that third piece of the model is your feeling, the emotion that you're in. When I'm believing this negative thing, how am I feeling in my body? That's important because your feelings drive your actions. When you're feeling defeated and depressed and down, you're going to show up very different than when you are feeling proud, disciplined, focused, empowered. Very different. You're going to do certain things. You're going to avoid doing certain things. It's important to know. So your emotions are very important because they drive your actions. And when you do this unconsciously, you don't even know that all this is happening, right? But your emotions drive your actions, the things you do, the things you don't do, and your actions are actually what create your results. We can't get a result without taking action, right? But if you're taking these negative actions, you're going to create that negative result. Positive result. Now, what's interesting though, is that your results are always tied to you. Okay. And what you're thinking about the thing is actually what creates your results. So when I'm thinking, like for this particular client, she was thinking because she hadn't sold the tickets that she wanted to sell. So that was her circumstance. Sold X tickets. Okay. Her predominant thought, she had many of them and I pointed those out, but her predominant toxic thought that really was driving all of this was, this isn't working. And when she believed this isn't working, remember that is an optional belief. She did not have to believe that. She could have believed anything. This is just the beginning. I'm learning. This is exactly how it works in the beginning. Like, I could have gave her 100 thoughts to think. But, and there's no shame in this. It's very normal. It's how our brain works, because your brain wants you to stay the same way. And when you break through this, you become someone different. Your brain's like, no, thank you. Right? And so when she's thinking this isn't working, she's going to feel defeated. Now, when I was talking to her about this, I was like, you might feel something else different, because remember, every thought creates a different emotion in you. So if I'm thinking this isn't working, I'm going to feel defeat. You might feel disappointment. You might feel shame. You might feel embarrassment, rejection. You might feel many other things, right? But we want to keep it constrained to when I'm believing this one thought, I feel this one feeling. So I wrote down defeat when I was doing this with her. And when you're feeling defeated, how does that show up? Now, what I showed her was everything you said in this voice memo showed me how that's coming from what you're thinking. So what I did, I literally just wrote down what she told me she's been doing in one way or another. Pull back on marketing, right? And marketing is really just inviting people that are looking for you in, inviting people that are interested in the value you create into your world to get it. We all want to be sold. We just want to be sold by what we want. You feel icky when someone's selling you something you're not interested in. But if you're interested, you're all of a sudden very interested. I had this experience actually, because I really do hate our home internet. It's been, let me knock on wood, because it's actually been behaving. But for a while, it was so annoying. And so I dislike when people come and try to sell me things. It's like, dude, I don't even answer the phone people call. Like, you need to book an appointment. Why are you knocking on this door, right? And so what I noticed, though, is because I haven't been liking this internet. As soon as they knocked on the door and I saw there was the new internet in the neighborhood, I'm like, oh, tell me more. So all of a sudden I got questions. I'm like, okay, yeah, like, can they call? Okay, but what's the, like, I'm interested. I'm leaning in. I've never did that before because I was never interested. Okay. So I share that with you because a lot of you all may, especially if we're talking about business, so I want to give that example. If you struggle with marketing, it's because of what you're thinking about it. Marketing, and you're thinking about the people who don't want it too, versus thinking about the woman, the man, the couple, the family, the organization that's like, oh man, I just wish that I knew someone who could solve this problem. I would pay them anything. You're solving their problem. They're looking for you, right? In the night with a flashlight. Okay. And so you pull back on that though. Like for her, you're going to pull back on your marketing. You're thinking like, this isn't working. Nobody wants this. Like all these thoughts she has. So you pull back on marketing. You don't show up. You don't share the value. You get in your head. That was the next thing. All the things she was sharing with me. Your brain's going to offer you lots of thoughts from the past because they kept you where you are now. In order to move forward, you got to be able to notice those beliefs and let them go. Decide what you want to believe on purpose, right? But for her, she got into her head, her brain offered her thoughts, and she started believing them. And then you know what happens when we believe things? When we believe the lies in our mind, and they're lies because they don't serve us anymore. When we believe those, you know what happens? We start creating that evidence, which you'll see this play out here in a moment. What I wanted to point out to her was you don't lead first. Her work is about service and connection and bringing people together and serving. She's a community leader. All of my clients are either at work, community, or both. And so that's her work. Her mission in life is to bring people in, to help them connect with themselves, to help them connect with each other, to help them get closer to love. That's her work. But when she's believing this, she actually does the opposite. She looks for other people to prove that's her work. She pulls back. She waits for other people to move first. Like, I need X amount of tickets to be sold for me to believe this thing. Right? Like, notice that you don't lead first. So important that when you're believing something that doesn't serve you, you're not leading your life. Next, she looked to others for answers. As I said, what do you think about this? What do you think about even Chat GPT? I love me some AI. Any AI you use, I think they're very helpful. But are you going to that to guide you, to give you answers where there are no right or wrong answers? You have to choose what to believe. And then I would ask, which is no shame if this is happening. Remember, we've been conditioned to be this way. We were raised in environments where we were conformed. You're supposed to do this until you learn not to. And that's why the work that I'm doing with clients is so important. It's so important because you think that's just the way that the world works. You don't know that you have a choice. The moment you know you have a choice, it's on and popping. Like, oh, wait. I remember one client, she would talk about it almost every session, and she would talk about it later because it was so groundbreaking for her when she realized that her dad was not right about everything. She was trained. Think this. Imagine this, being 2 years old as a baby from birth, being trained that there is a person that is right all of the time. Think about that. That's your truth. And she thought that into her 40s, 50s. She was going to her 50s, I believe. And so, wait, what? There's no universal truths? That's what I told her. Like, I mean, that's what it was like the news to me because that's what I believed. Yeah, I mean, that's what I believe. I mean, you don't have to believe that, but that's what I believe. I don't think there's anything true in this world. Wait, what? And like, you got to run that back. Changed her life. Clipped that connection she had with that belief just like that in an instant. She would have spent the next 45 years of her life believing that. And then when he passed, because naturally that's what's going to happen, he's going to pass before she does, what then? If he's always right, and he's gone, what now? Versus you're always right. And what you choose to believe is right for you. You're in control. So that's why it's so important to like, who am I looking to for answers in situations where there is not one? Even when you get a strategist, even when you have someone talk to you, you take that in, you digest it, and then you decide from your own experience, your own lived experience, you decide what's true for you. All right. The next thing is she uses the energy to build belief in negative things. Did y'all know that it takes more energy to believe something negative that doesn't feel good, that feels heavy, than to believe something light and invigorating and in alignment? Hear me out. When you are feeling motivated, you're feeling so proud of yourself, you're feeling accomplished and free and at peace and like, wow. Maybe think about the vacation you went on. You know, maybe think about that raise you got. Think about that celebration dinner, whatever it might be, that last moment you felt so good. Did you have to work hard to feel that? Were you like, oh, no, oh my God, I can't. Like, you're like, give me more, please, right? You didn't have to work hard at all. Think about how hard you have to work to keep thinking these negative narratives in your mind. Negative emotions that are coming from these negative narratives. How hard you have to work to stay in that. Your brain's constantly overthinking and this and this and this, and you're talking to people. You talk to this person, you're trying to get relief here, relief there, relief there. You do this, you do that. You're drinking, you're drugging, you're sexing, you are, which none of those are necessarily bad, right? But we're using them to run away from an emotion and a thought. We don't want to see it, and so we're just doing all these things, right? We're buffering. We're over shopping. We're spending money we don't have. We put money on things that don't serve us, and we are hesitant to invest in things that will. Like all the things we do to do what some people call self-sabotage, all the things we do. Why are we doing that? Because we don't want to see it. We don't want to feel it. We're trying to run from that. So you use more energy, using up all of your energy that could be created in like this wonderful, full life. You're using that energy, and it's being used all up to believe this negative thing over here. So that's another thing she's doing. So then she doesn't have energy to kind of uplift herself when she wants to. You don't decide what you want to believe. That was another thing she was doing. Well, maybe, I don't know. Well. And that's what happens because there's so many gurus out here. There's so many AIs. There's so many thoughts. Remember, why? Because there is no right answer. And so when you don't have the skill, this is a skill to decide what you want to believe about yourself on purpose. When you do not have that, you're going to go and blow within the wind. You've got to be solid in yourself and decide, what am I going to believe on purpose about this circumstance? And that's what I showed her. You sold X tickets. You could make that mean a lot of different things. Why are you choosing this one? As a matter of fact, we don't even need to know why. What do you want to choose instead? That's the more empowering place to go. Let's get into solutions. This isn't working. Is it not? How do you know what working is? Because you're in the making of the work. You have this goal down the line, right? You have no idea how you're going to get there. How do you know this isn't how you're going to get there? I think about that because I have been through so many situations that are so weird. Like wait, what? You got to run it. What? You got to tell me that again. Like when I've talked to people about different things, especially like therapists I've been to, they're like, wait, what? And what, girl? And what? Like they forget that they're a therapist. Like, tell me more. Right. And this is not to make light of a therapist, right? But that was my lived experience after a while. And with many of the therapists I would see, I know I needed that though. I wasn't prepared for coaching. I wasn't prepared to see myself. I wasn't prepared to move forward. Now there's a difference between being prepared and being comfortable. Okay. So don't mistake your discomfort as I'm not prepared. You're going to be uncomfortable. And that's what we make that discomfort mean. I'm not ready. It's not the right time. Da, da, da. If you pause for a second, ask yourself, is that really true? Every single time on a consultation, when a client is able to pause with me, they talk themselves out of the BS lie they just heard out loud. Like, what? Well, why did I say that? Because, right, this is what our brain does. Remember, it's just going to offer you that very easy bone. It's like, ooh, take that because I don't want to grow. That's your brain. You've got to be able to pause and be like, wait, hold on. I know the result I'm trying to create. I know the result I have now. Is this thought going to help me create that result? Absolutely not. Because of the version of you that have reached that goal, that version of you, she's like, girl, you handle that. Don't stress on that. You already handled that. You figured that out. Next. Like that's the energy she's in. So she's absolutely not saying, oh, it's not working and you got to go do more research and more work and maybe next year. It's not doing any of that. That version of you is like, girl, go. You got this. She's uplifting you. She's reminding you that everything works out for your good. She's reminding you that you were innately gifted with that thing, that you were brought forward to do the thing you want to be doing. She is reminding you of that. So anything that's not that is not who you want to be giving your time and energy to. Now, the last piece of the motto is the result. Of course, when she's thinking this isn't working and she feels defeated and she pulls back on her marketing and she gets in her head and believes these lies that don't create the results she wants, she's not leading. She's falling back. She's not being that community leader that she knows she is. She's looking to other people and tech for answers. She's believing that over her own. She's not connected to like, what does truth mean to her in her body, right? She uses all of her energy to believe these negative things. She doesn't even have any energy to push her and remind her of what's actually true for her. She doesn't decide what she wants to believe on purpose. She lets that go to like whatever her brain offers her. She just picks it up. You know, like you walking through the hallway and you're like, I'm bored. You see some chips, you just eat it. You weren't even thinking about the chips until you saw them. That's what she's doing with her brain when she's believing this isn't working and she's letting her brain passively do this to her. Of course, the result she creates is it does not work. But not because it wasn't going to, because she failed ahead of time. She pulled back. She created the failure ahead of time because heaven forbid she go full out and forward and see what she's about and it doesn't work out. Let's do anything to prevent that from happening. And I know this because I have the same brain as you do. And we've got to get better at noticing that. And that's what coaching does. Coaching helps you to self-coach yourself. Coaching helps you to be the coach for you. At every level. At every level. And this is why when we work together, the problems on day 1 are not the problems on day 15. They're not. They can't be. We've solved for that. We move boom, 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 boom. We're moving mountains real quick. Because you're in the problem and I'm not. And I see it. And my job is to get you to the solution. Right? Get you moving forward. Get you into what you tell me what you want. You tell me how you want to feel. You tell me the results you want. You tell me the experience you want to have. Well, we just workshop it backwards. What's required? You become her. And that's exactly what coaching does, is that gap between who you are now and who you want to be. So I wanted to take time to share this with you because coaching can be so intangible, meaning, oh, you pay me $3,600 and you on day 15, you get 3 million. Right? Or you pay me today and tomorrow your daughter is going to say she really loves you and she's grateful for you as her mom and she is so thankful for your relationship. Sometimes, we work on relationships, work on everything in coaching, right? Like it's not that tangible. I can't, like that's not something we can say, but I do know that the science behind it is this kind of thing. Who do I want to be? Who is she? How does she think? How does she feel? What are the things she does? What are the things she stops doing? What's that like? What's that experience like? And then we work to close that gap. That's simply what it is. And you do it a lot faster when you're not trying to solve this problem with the very brain that's creating it, right? And so This is my best to this date ability to explain coaching in a way that I hope you understand and you see yourself in it, whether it's business or personal matter, relationships, communication. You've checked all the boxes and you're just still not feeling like you're there, you're arrived. You've done so many things and you never feel like you're arrived. You're always feeling stuck and overwhelmed, and you just feel confused and you don't know what to do, and you don't trust yourself. You don't know if this is the right thing or the wrong thing, and you have a lot going on at the same time. You have lots of hats you're wearing. You're a natural server, giver, doer. It's very simple for you to solve problems for other people. It's very simple for you to be thoughtful and curate experiences. It's very simple for you to really go out and shift other people's lives. You've got to start with you. And I am in full belief of us being products of our own products, whatever that might be. If you are called to be a community leader, either in your community, personal community, the larger community, your job, your home, we are leaders. When you have taken that on as a woman, as a matriarch of your family, and as the one, right, then you've got to lead by example. And that means you're being called to something higher. Right? This is how we all work together. One thing I like to say, rising tide. What is it? Hold on, now I got to go find the quote. Okay, I found it. A rising tide lifts all boats. I love that quote. Like, obviously, I don't remember all the words, but I love the feeling of that, of like, when you succeed, he, she, what, the community, to what we are mutually agreeable on, of course, I benefit from that. And so it's nothing for me to show up and serve, because the more you grow and you serve and you feel that thing, the more contagious it becomes and it grows. And this is where conscious awareness comes from. And so I just want to share that with you. And if you have listened through this and you feel something, if you didn't know, that is your inner knowing calling you forward to your thing. Your thing may not look anything like my thing or anyone else's. And I think that's the beauty of it all. Right? Of like, what you bring to the table, I never could, not in the way you do. I have a lot of potential coaches that reach out and they want to pick my brain and all that. I'm like, yeah, amazing. Let's get on one conversation. I'll answer all the questions you have. After that, you need me to support you one-to-one, right? But in that, calm answering it all. Why? Because we need you. Anything that you are called to do, anything you feel like you want to do, it's because you're supposed to be doing. Who am I to hold that back? I'm here to help you bring that out. I'm here to help you see that. I'm here to help you put one foot in front of the other, even though you're scared. And so, of course, I'm here to serve and to show and all the things, because I have such an expansive abundance mindset about all of this. We could never serve all the people. Someone can do the exact same work I do, exact same. They could never do it like me, and I could never do it like them. And there are tons and tons of people that would be turned off by my voice and would love them, and vice versa, right? And so it's just like, I just love this, and I'm here to serve you. And so let this be a reminder to you to consciously be aware of what you're believing about yourself, about your goals, about the life you have now, and just ask yourself 2 questions. Is this what I want to be thinking about this thing? This situation, this outcome, this goal, whatever it is. Is this what I would choose to believe if I was able to believe anything, right? And the second is, who do I want to be here? Who is she? What is she thinking instead? How is she operating here? How is she connected? How would she handle this thing, right? What is her foundation of belief? I hope that this has been helpful. Send it to all of your girlfriends that struggle with knowing that she is in control of her own life experience. Because once a woman understands this, everything in her life changes. And I can say that with full conviction because it happened to me. And it's happening again to me. It's just different levels. All right. Thank you for listening. This episode was curated to create a shift in your life today. If you're ready for real transformation, the next step is working with me one-on-one in a private coaching space. To see if it's a right fit, I'll leave the link in the show notes below. Until then, keep leading.